For this specific text, I'm going to have 3 lines of type, and I've measured that out, and you can see the measurements here. They're in inches, and that's so that my type will sit on 3 lines, and it's in the center of the page this way. And when I go to measure out my type space, I will fit it in between the parameters, so it lays out how I would like. In between each of those 1/2 inch lines of type or 1/4 inch of spacing. That spacing is completely up to you. This is not the format that you have to follow, it's just a suggestion. If you have 2 lines of type that's going to go on your project, you can use these measurements here. Again, it uses the same logic. This time I have a 1/2 inch of space between my letters of type. It's subjective, it's completely up to you how you would like to lay this out, but this is a solid suggestion for you. The next step in the process is to place the letters and estimate where they're going to go. I've done a basic estimation that my type is going to need about that much space to fill up the sheet, and I've made that guess based on knowing what my words are and counting roughly the number of letters that are going to be required to fill that space. If you know you're going to have a lot of eyes, just make the assumption they're going to take up less space. And I've estimated that my characters are going to take up about 4 inches worth of space. We'll see how true that is. Just to make sure, I can begin to letter in the words on my page. And I'm going to try to follow as best I can the format of the letters in my vinyl sheet here. Because I'm going to be making a rubbing onto letter size sheet of paper, I'm going to open this sheet of paper back up to a letter size. And I'm going to just line up the good sheet of paper on top of my vinyl letters. And there's a couple things you can do here. One, you can use death grip to hold everything in place and make sure it doesn't move. Or you can use masking tape. So with this masking tape, what I've done is I've pre-removed a little bit of the adhesive, so it has some sweater fuzz on it. It works good on jeans, on sofas, on any kind of textile really that has a little bit of fuzz. And I'm going to tape things down into the corner. Now this is going to prevent things from moving for the most part. The trick is really going to be still using a little bit of grip with your hand to keep everything from wiggling. So to make a rubbing, I have my crayon, it's broken in half, and you just apply pressure and rub your crayon over that vinyl lettering. There's a few methods to do this. One, you can develop sort of a flat side on your crayon and you can make the rubbings that way. And the more you push, the darker the rubbing will be. And you can contain your crayon rubbing to one place. So if you would like to really kind of work a letter, you can do that by shifting the pressure onto your crayon to more of the tip. And this process, I will say, takes a little bit of practice and some warm up. So this first print or impression that you're making may not turn out beautifully, but it just means that you're learning the process and how to make the impression look how you would like. There is a little bit of a learning curve here. So if I really want this stay home part to be emphasized in my print, again, I can do a different method. So one method is, of course, to just push harder. That makes it darker. But if you want to make it more distinct, you can also take your crayon and do this method, which is something maybe we're more familiar with, sort of in thinking about things we've done before with crayons. So let's practice some more on how to make these crayon rubbings.